So guys, today back for another video on the channel. Today we're here for a special preview and a big one. Newcastle United versus Crystal Palace. And you want to know why it's a big one and a special one, boys? It's the first preview without fucking Steve Bruce. I am ecstatic he is gone. I'm so happy that he has left the club and he's been sacked. So I want to say, he's just gone from Newcastle United and I am so proud. We're going to talk a lot more about Steve Bruce. Obviously you see my reaction and whatnot on the other videos, so make sure to watch that if you haven't watched it already. But obviously in this video we'll look at Crystal Palace, look at Newcastle coming into this game on Saturday. Make sure to leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to do so. We are smashed the channel recently, over obviously 10k subs, and if you could subscribe it would mean a lot. Obviously we've got the predicted team tomorrow, the game on Saturday and whatnot, so make sure to stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. Anyways boys, let's get in the video now and we'll start off by looking at Crystal Palace. So then, Crystal Palace, obviously they've had a good start of the season, to be honest with you lads. A really good start. I think before their signings I'd have thought like they could get relegated. I wasn't too convinced about Patrick Vieira, but he's came in and done a fantastic job and you can only praise the man and praise Crystal Palace. He's set that team up fantastically. And the signings that he's made, unbelievable. The main one for me, right, and it's a loan signing, it's Conor Gallagher. For me, he's been Crystal Palace's player of the season so far. Just from obviously from a Newcastle fan watching into a club. I think Conor Gallagher has been the player of the season for his lads. Honestly, what a player. What a player. We wanted him on loan, didn't come obviously. I think he would have came obviously if the table happened in the summer, not now, but it doesn't matter. Conor Gallagher, what a player. He's performed really well, and one thing that I like to see, right, is when you've got a loan player going out on loan and want to prove himself, you can still see that they care about the club that they play for. Where you see players go out on loan for the sake of their career, people go out there for the fans and everything about the city and not just for his career but for the football club. And I think Conor Gallagher has that, to be honest with you. One other player who obviously scored on Monday night against Arsenal is Edouard, the striker. What a player he is. Obviously he played for Celtic, scoring goals for fun in the Scottish League, and really for him, I think he had to prove himself in the Premier League. And so far in the first 8 games, I think he has obviously scored on his debut against Spurs, and I think he's got a couple more obviously scored against Arsenal. So it was a good sign for Crystal Palace. But obviously Patrick Vieira came in, and there's a lot of speculation. I was one of the people speculating on him. I was thinking, is he the right man to really take over Crystal Palace and really get Crystal Palace going again after having about 3 or 4 seasons under Roy Hodgson? And you know what, lads, so far so good, you could say, for Crystal Palace. They've obviously they're still around like the mid-table mark, but they are pushing for top half of the table, and that's what they're looking for. Can they get it? Most likely. One player, obviously Crystal Palace, who have gotten, who always does have a good game against us, is Wilfried Zaha. He didn't play against Arsenal for a fitness issue, so hopefully he still isn't fit for the game versus Newcastle. I would love it, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously Benteke scored against Arsenal. Is his career ruined yet or not? It'll be an interesting one to see what happens. Obviously Patrick Vieira was always good against Newcastle back in the day, always good, starting the show pretty much every game. So is he going to do the same? But obviously for what I'm thinking is the relationship between Patrick Vieira and Alan Saint-Maximin. Obviously Maximin's Newcastle's best player, obviously. And the comments that Vieira made before Alan Saint-Maximin joined from Nice on a permanent deal were a bit harsh, saying that his love and stuff for football wasn't there, and he didn't really care, didn't show any warranty to his football, and his attitude was a big one that he stated. But then obviously Alan Saint-Maximin came in, and within 2 weeks of signing for the club he was already donating his wages to the food bank, and that just shows it really does. So will there be a toxic relationship between them two? It will be an interesting one to say, because obviously Selhurst Park's a loud, small impact stadium. Obviously last time we were there we did win 2-0 where Wilson and Joelinton both scored, obviously behind closed doors at the time. But it'll be interesting to see actually what happens and how both teams approach the game, because last time fans were in the stadiums when at Selhurst Park against Newcastle, they beat us 1-0, and that's the thing, the fans can get behind them, and that's what Crystal Palace like to do. But when you look at their form, they haven't won in the last 4, which is a bit interesting. Obviously they got beat, they've conceded 2 95th minute goals. Obviously one against Brighton, their rivals, which was torture for them, and obviously Arsenal just on Monday night. Yes, Crystal Palace have only won 1 game this season, which you can look at and think, how can they say they've had a good season? But they have only lost 2 games against Liverpool and Chelsea, so you can't really say anything about that. For me, Palace have had a good season so far. Obviously obviously yes, 5 draws, but some of them draws have been good draws. West Ham won, sticks in my, I think they were 2-0 down or something and came back to 2-2. Both goals from Conor Gallagher, as I mentioned at the start of the video. He's a brilliant player, and we've got to watch out for him, because is our midfield too slow to keep up with him? Because he looks so fast paced, and knowing what he's going to do is set before everyone else. It'll be an interesting one to see what happens, boys, but let's speak about Newcastle United then. Right then, boys. Newcastle, and you all know the news, boys. I've already said it. Steve Bruce is gone. Honestly, I am absolutely ecstatic with the news, and I think fans can say what they want. Fans can say he done a decent job or whatever. I couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't give a fuck what anyone else's opinions are. My opinions, Steve Bruce is the worst manager in Premier League history, and I don't care if people agree, disagree, people want to comment on this video. I really couldn't care, because if you do, go for it. Honestly, I couldn't care. The way he's dealt with situations at the football club is disgusting. In the last 11 days before today, the players had 7 days off. Fucking 7 days off. Under Rafa, you had them training Monday to Friday, played Saturday. That was it. When you're under Bruce, 4 days of training in 11 days is disgusting. The way he dealt with the media, the way he dealt with the whole situation about the fans and the comments made and everything, right? For me, I'm absolutely buzzing. He's been sacked, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't, because the way he made me fall out with love of football, it was him. It wasn't Newcastle. It wasn't just Newcastle United. It wasn't the players. It was Steve Bruce. Why I thought about quitting YouTube and thought about sitting there and not doing it anymore, but I stuck fucking through it, and now I'm sitting there with a fucking smile on my face with the richest club in the world, and Brucey is fucking gone. Replacement wise, we don't know yet. I think it'll be early next week, probably Monday or Tuesday, when we do get a replacement in. James Jones will take the helm at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. I believe mixed it up there. I think it's a good move, because I'm telling you, right, every single time a caretaker manager comes in, they win. Ones that stick in mind, Leicester, when Shakespeare came in, they won their first game back. There's so many more. There are so many more where it's the caretaker manager and not the actual manager. Like replacement for manager straight away. I think we've got a good chance. I think the fans will be up for it. Brucey's obviously gone. Honestly, it's such a remarkable moment. But we'll speak about Bruce's history. He's gone. He's done with. Done. Battered away. Slapped in the face. He's fucking out of here, right? Let's speak about actual Newcastle United. Now, we're going to see the best of our players again. We're going to see the best, and that's the good thing, right? We're going to see Jamal Lewis play more, which I'm delighted about, right? We're going to see Maxi in his preferred position. We're going to see Miggy not on the right wing. We're going to see Joe Linton with fucking support now, because you can see Graham Jones on the sidelines doing all fucking tactics and whatnot, right? And there was a clip on Sunday, Steve Bruce saying, "Oh, I don't have a fucking clue." Like, what was meant to be, and he's meant to be out of here, and he is. Graham Jones obviously will take the helm on Saturday, and that just sticks in my mind. When a caretaker manager comes in, you normally do win, so it would be a remarkable way to win our first game of the season. It would show a statement on Steve Bruce. Out of all the games in recent years, I want to win this one. So it just shows how shit Steve Bruce was. A win percentage of 28.8 in Newcastle is disgusting, and it's not like he's had no money. Because saying that, people said he had no money and didn't get backed. He got 40 million on a striker and Joe Linton, 20 million on Wilson, 16.5 on Maxi, right? That there is 76.5. I can do fucking math. 76.5, right? What did Rafa get? What did Rafa get? On 11 players. No, not 11. That wasn't no. In the 18-19 season, we said about 7 players. Guess how much he spent? About 20 million on 7 players. 7, right? About 25 mil. It was Muto, Dubravka, Shaw, Fernandez, and probably someone else. But anyways, right? That's not the point, right? It just shows like people just don't understand the facts. And for me, when journalists or whatever have these comments, go to the fucking fans, right? They're not the ones watching this club day in day out. They're not the ones searching, going on Twitter to look for Newcastle news. They're just seeing the odd things pop up in that, right? A win percentage of 28.8% is absolutely minging, and it's disgusting, and he should be ashamed of himself, Steve Bruce, because for me, our team now was much better under the team we had under Rafa. Much better. If you told me, if we had Rafa at the helm at Newcastle with Wilson, Fraser, Maxi, Miggy, Joe Linton, and the list goes on, right? Fabi Shaw, Dubravka, Hayden, Jamal Lewis, it keeps going on. Joe Willock. If you're telling me Rafa had that team, he would have got the best out of them players, right? And that's what we need to see. We need to see the manager getting the best out of players who haven't had it recently. Sean Longstaff is a player who got ruined by Steve Bruce under Rafa, getting nominated for Young Player of the Year in the Premier League, and then gets dusted away under Steve Bruce's light. It's just shit to see. I think about, it was, what was it? In the last 25 games we've won 2 or something, like something daft like that, something really, really bad like that, right? It's a joke. It's a joke, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. But that's the end of the preview, boys. You know what, lads, right? If I've got to say a prediction, 2-1 Newcastle. I'm going for a 2-1 win. It'll be an entertaining one at Selhurst Park. As you know, boys, I do the stream and the videos and whatnot, so if you want to subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot. We are starting the stream, obviously normal time, about 2:30. Speak before the game, speak about the lineups and everything going on. Obviously the video after as well. And obviously there will be a predicted team video out on Friday evening, so make sure to stay tuned on the channel. See you on the next one, boys. Brucey gone, the Mags are fucking back in business. Yuppa!